Here's the fourth episode, and I haven't looked at it recently, but it's a couple new things happen here. You're going to establish that Tony can't park in the parking lot that's reserved for the dentist, that they're still reserving it for his father, and that he's been there for 6 months. And you're going to introduce his grandfather. He's going to have a flashback here, and you're going to see how his grandfather's part of the storyline. And they're going to have a flashback, and there'll be several flashbacks. We're going to have the Nini cup. Okay, Tony's going to have a cup of coffee. He's going to have the Nini cup. And of course, Tammy's going to be hot. It's going to show his relationship with the office manager. And so he's going to go to the lawyer's office to sign a contract to receive his inheritance, that there are certain rules that he has to go by to receive his inheritance. You're going to find out that he still has a dental practice in Texas, and that his friend from dental school is running that practice. And he maintains a friendship with his friend from dental school who is gay. So we're going to address that later on. The gays, the Baptists, how the Baptists hate the gays, how his mom hates the gays. She's a Baptist, and those things that's going to be a theme of the spiritual abuse of the Baptist. And then we're going to see the flashback with the grandfather. Oh, and he's going to say one thing too in this, and I think it's important. He's going to say that now that his father is dead, he can get to know him. And I think a lot of us feel that way. A lot of our generation and the generations now feel that, we never knew our parents. There were some parents that connected with their kids and had good relationship with their kids, but there's so many that never knew their parents. And here's his opportunity to maybe explore who his father was. By working at his father's dental practice, he may form a connection with him that he never had, although he's dead. And we carry that throughout our whole life. I still carry the connection and the issues I had with my parents still today. I'm 61 years old, and I still carry that with me today. My father was a very distant person. I think he was battling the pain from his childhood, the pain from his father, and some pain that he dealt with work. He was the superintendent at a coal mine, and they had a fall there, and 4 men died. And he felt like, because he was a superintendent, that it was his responsibility to recover those bodies. And they jacked the floor up, and he crawled in there on his chest and drug 4 bodies out. And I think he was really distant from that. And he raged more. He was a rager anyway. I never knew when he was going to rage. But I just never knew him, and I always had different father figures. And the grandfather in this sitcom is the one who Tony bonded to, and so he's a combination of the men that I sought out, and I didn't realize I was doing it, but as father figures. I always had men in my life that were like father figures to me. And I didn't realize I was doing it. Even when I lived at home and had a father, we had a neighbor named Jim Pauley that was in the Highland Games. And I can remember when I worked at the country club, I would call him, and it was 12 o'clock in the morning, and we would go swim in the pool at the country club, jump off the high dive. We went to football game together. When he would practice throwing the hammer, down close to the football field, I would go with him. I'd get in his car and go with him. I would go work out with him when he lifted weights. He was a power lifter too. He even signed me up for a bench press contest. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. He goes, too late, I paid for it. And and he said he wasn't going to be there because he was out of town. And I was like, I don't want to compete in this without you. He said, no, you have to. He even called me son a couple times. And I went and competed, and I won first place in a bench press contest. I only weighed about, a little over 100 pounds, but I ended up, bench pressing about 1.5 times my weight. And, because I worked out with him. But anyway, I've had these father figures, since I was very young. And even today, I've developed a relationship with a guy that, I call him Pop. And he went with me yesterday. I had to get a tooth cut out. And he went with me yesterday just to make sure I wasn't sedated and could drive home. I'm getting an implant too. And I just always found these men. And I'm going to probably have a video just about that. But I hope you enjoy this episode. And you understand why Tony came back, what motivated him to come back, which was several things. And some of the challenges he's going to face when he comes back. He is going to have to keep the older hygienist who was the hygienist for his father for all those years, and actually changed his diaper when he was young. She's slipping mentally, and so he's going to have to keep her employed for 3 years in order to get the money. He's going to have to work for his inheritance. And so that's going to be a nice theme in the sitcom, is how does he keep her employed without her hurting patients. And, she's going to be a wonderful character. And, all right. So I hope you enjoy this. Feel free to make some comments, and thank you for following along.